What started it is the first project, which was a bookcase. That's also a door. I think it's fair to say that the pandemic took everybody by surprise. I was terrified of the lockdowns. I mean, I'm an extrovert. I like being around people. I need to be around people. When that ability was taken away from everybody, I felt particularly afraid. I knew I needed to figure something out or I'd go crazy. What I was focused on for the last 2 decades is building businesses. I got to keep building creative things. When my lease was up at the last place, and at that point I built a few small projects, I started thinking to myself, like, wouldn't it be fun to get into some larger projects? I'd like to find a wide open space with high ceilings, hardly any walls. No walls would be optimal. A lot of windows. I really like natural light. And so when I saw this place, the industrial style of the place made it a no-brainer. I knew the potential for what I could do was nearly unlimited. One of the first things I thought about was the loft. Everybody was Zoom meeting all the time. It was really important for me to have like a cool Zoom space. That's one of the problems. Once I get an idea, I can't get it out of my head until I see it. I thought it would be really cool to just have, hidden doors. I didn't know exactly how I was going to utilize the space under the stairs until I thought that would be a good place to have a waterfall and a pond. Doesn't everybody think like that? A lot of the way I think is based on what's available in terms of materials that I have and materials that are available. How am I going to make this wall here? Well, it seemed almost like the day I asked that question, I found somebody giving away a garage full of beautiful wood. All of these projects I was building on my own with hardly any tools. It's still a question to me if my ideas dictate the project or if the materials dictate my ideas. It's one of those things where I see what's available, I see the stuff that I have, and I'm like, well, if I have this stuff and I have this idea, can I build that idea with this stuff? And if not, maybe I need a different idea. I'll just challenge myself to say, well, you don't have materials for that. Can you think of a different idea? And a lot of the times I do, and a lot of the times my more constricted idea is better than my original one. I'm happy with what I've done. I want to do so much more. That's the challenge. It's like, it's come to a point where the projects here need to stop, but my imagination doesn't understand that. The way I feel when I look around now is I'm very pleased with everything. And I want to do more, but not here. A friend of mine came over one day and he was just looking around my place and he goes, "Damn, I think you missed your calling." To be honest, it got me to think. Maybe I did. But I'm not old enough to have missed my calling, yeah? This is a cool story. Hopefully it's the beginning of a really cool story.